Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the final episode of Candid Cloud Convos of 2021.
We are your hosts, Emelita and Gina, and we are ready.
Oh,
We're ready to say
she
goodbye
switched it up on y'all.
to 2021.
I think we've been ready since it started, but
Give it a good
happy to
pat
be
on the
here.
back and say goodbye.
Right. Shout out to everyone who's made it thus far to this point. December 27th, 2021. I'm ready to say goodbye and just get into it for next year. How about you?
It's always so weird because it's like, so hopefully everyone had a good Christmas, all that jazz, or holidays.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
But it's so weird because it's like between the days between like Christmas and New Year's, it's kind of like a lull. Like it's so weird, this little time period. But yeah, I'm definitely ready. I mean, to be positive. Okay.
Right.
I'm grateful for the lessons that 2021 brought, but I am very ready to say goodbye to it. It's not bittersweet for me. I'm just ready to say bye.
Yeah.
And go on to 2022.
I feel like we did a lot of the hard work like
right.
in 2021. So that's why we're both looking forward to it so much. Because we have so much like planned in our head, you know?
Yeah.
Not that we didn't for 2021, but obviously the panorama being a factor and everything else, like you can't really do much. So it is what it is. But we did the best with what we could, and that chapter's closed, bitch.
Thank God.
What were some of the, should we get into lessons first, or should we do like the fun stuff? Like, should we start easy with products, things that we like, and then get into more deep stuff, or should we start deep and then get lighter? Yeah. Trigger warning.
Stuff does get deep in this podcast, in this episode. We do get pretty deep with it. So eventually after the chill, products and bests and stuff, we're going to go in.
The products and just like the best of the best for 2021. I think I wore makeup as many times as I can count on both of my hands. So I definitely did not try any makeup products.
We were talking about this a little earlier. We're like, it was so hard trying to come up with things about 2021 that we're like, oh, this was so good.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, we
two. I have two that I actually learned about this year, or like got into this year. And one of them is actually, both of them we both did this year. One of them is fanny packs. Such a fan.
You're fucking lying, dude.
Yeah.
I wrote that down.
Oh my God.
I wrote that down. Hold on.
We are such fans.
Look at
oh my God,
fanny
stop it. Dude, that was my first one.
That's hella funny.
I love it. We're such fans, guys.
Yeah, we love our fanny packs.
If you haven't tried it already, please try it. Your life will change.
And it's so funny because it's like when I got it, my mom was like, isn't it crazy how old trends like come back around and things like that?
Yeah.
Because they were so big before.
Right.
And then it became like fanny packs were kind of like the not cool thing.
It
went from
nerdy.
being a cool thing to like nerdy or like a mom or something like that, you know? And then they came back in and we got it initially for Vegas. And it was the best fucking idea. Like it was just so convenient.
So glad.
Especially for Vegas.
The next time I seen you after Vegas, I walked in with my fanny pack on.
We never shifted back to the regular purses.
I can't stop.
No.
Even still to this day, mine is janky as hell. It's broken. The front zipper doesn't even work. A bunch of the little prongs for where you zip it came off. I'm still rocking it. I don't care.
I have mine. I switched like a couple of days ago. What did I switch for? I think I switched it for Christmas or something.
Right.
But so I have my fanny pack and the other purse that I used right next to each other so that I can move it all back because it's just so convenient.
Just dump it in, dump it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fanny packs, number one for sure. And then the other thing was the Dawn dish soap power wash. Game changer.
I love that.
Game
I love
changer.
That thing.
Yes.
Dawn they really did their thing when they came out with that. They did. Like I know that they did their thing all the time, but like that power wash, that's just no joke.
If you guys haven't tried it yet, literally try it.
And it smells hella good too.
It smells bomb. I love the sour apple one. Love it. It
smells hella good.
So yeah, those were genuinely the only two products that I could think of.
I came up with three, and one of them was the fanny packs.
Okay, one for one.
Two.
Yeah.
One of them, and I'm telling you, these are really random things because I was thinking really hard about this.
Me too.
One of them was the sterilizing toothbrush covers. because like I had a regular toothbrush cover.
Yeah,
I
like the plastic one.
Yeah, but I didn't know that there was sterilizing ones. And so like it literally, right. And so I bought like a 2-pack at Target and it was $6. And I'm like, God damn, like $6. And I was like, that's kind of a lot. But I was like, whatever. So then I realized there was sterilizing.
Still bought it.
Yeah. Yeah. Still gonna get it.
Splurge moment.
Dude, they smell it like they make your toothbrush smell like at the dentist. Like that clean. I don't know how to explain it, but just that clean dentist smell. Yeah, that's what they make your toothbrush smell like, and it lasts me. It says 3 months. I would say at about like 2.5, 3 months, and then you have to get a new one. But I really liked it.
Oh, I'll have to look into that. I have a regular like plastic one too. But
yeah,
obviously it doesn't do anything besides like not getting dog hair all over it.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, so I really like that one. And then the second one was
it a certain brand?
I think it was the off-brand, like the off-brand, Target's off-brand thing.
Oh, okay.
Talking about, like each store has
their
the
market or
version.
Is that just their food?
Is it Up and Up? I think it's called
Up and Up. Yes, Up and Up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think it was that. So it's their off-brand version. Okay. So probably the regular one is more expensive, but I think for $2 it's actually worth it because they're sterilizing. Because that made it like worth it. Right. And then my other one was a wireless keyboard, and it connects to 3 different Bluetooths, bro. So, 3 different devices. So you can have it connected at one time. What? So I can have it connected to my laptop, the iPad, and then my phone. And all I need to do is, so I, connects them each, let's say my laptop on 1, my iPad on 2, and my phone on 3. Mm-hmm. So all I have to do when I'm typing is just click 2 if I want to switch to another one, and then click back 1 if I want to go back. Does that make sense?
That's dope. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's definitely another one that I really, really liked, just because it's really convenient and it's wireless and it's Bluetooth, and you can be using like 3 different things, and all you have to do is press 1 button. I got it off Amazon.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Really, really cool.
Was it a decent price too?
I want to say yes, because I think there was another one I was looking at that I had seen on TikTok that was kind of like the buttons were typewriter-ish. Oh, and like I like that sound, like that feeling, that sound. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh my God, I want it. It was like $100-something, or probably even more. And I was like, oh no, I don't need it that bad. I'm cool.
It was probably just from the hype from TikTok.
Probably,
like
honestly, probably. And I read the reviews, and a lot of people were saying that the connection they always had trouble with. That it didn't want to, like the Bluetooth didn't want to connect, and I was like, why am I going to pay hella money?
Yeah, and it's not going to work. Yeah.
So I went with the cheaper one, but I want to say it was pretty good price, especially for 3. Mm-hmm. I'll look it up though.
I think it was probably decent because you wouldn't have bought it otherwise.
Exactly. Exactly. I put some songs too.
I didn't put songs specifically. It's just the 2 artists that Spotify noticed that I listened to the most. I did some market research to find out. And for me, I got into a lot more podcasts this year, which I'm really happy about. I don't really care. Like sometimes I get tired of listening to music. I know that sounds bad. I love music, don't get me wrong, but I just get tired of it sometimes, and I need someone talking to like balance it. It's so weird. But so yeah, no, definitely I got into podcasts like the most this year for sure. But
I think same, honestly.
Yeah, because we would send each other like, oh, I found this one, blah blah blah. And then last weekend we actually found out that we listened to the same one that is like a random podcast that neither of us probably would have thought each other listened to.
No, and that's why it was so funny, because when you said it, you're like, oh, is that from Unfiltered? And I kind of just looked at you because I was like, it's so random that I didn't think that maybe you were talking about a different one, and I didn't want to say. I was like, what?
I know. I was like, oh, maybe she doesn't. Like, I sound dumb.
And it wasn't And so when you said, I was like, dude, that's sick. I was like, that's so random, but the fact that you listened to it also.
I love it. It just,
how long have you been always connected? To it?
Zane
and Heath Unfiltered.
Zayn and Heath Unfiltered. I actually started listening to their podcast when they went on Pretty Basic. And that's how I found them. Yes.
I watched that episode too.
I love that episode. It's so funny. I
actually found Pretty Basic from Unfiltered. I watched Unfiltered first, and then they were on their show, and I was like, oh, it was such a good episode. Yes. Like it was really good chemistry between all of them.
Yeah.
So I went to theirs where Zayn and Heath were on their podcast.
Yeah, that one's funny.
It's good.
That is so really weird how we literally learned about the opposite podcast, but like from the same people. That is so weird. But yeah, that's how I found them. Hella funny. I really enjoyed their conversation on Pretty Basic. So I was like, oh, let me look into them. And then
their setup is dope too.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. It looks like a spaceship with all the lights. Like, it's so cute. But yeah, Pretty Basic is another one. Baby Mama's No Drama, classic. I also listened to Wild Till 9 with Lord DIY and her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. And then Mile Higher, the one that does a lot of like conspiracy theories and
true crime,
other stuff.
Oh, huh? Do they do true crime?
She mostly does, but I think they do also cover some together too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think. And then she also has another one called The Sesh with her cousin. So I listened to that one too. But yeah, definitely got mostly into podcasts rather than music. But of course, I have my 2 fave artists that I listened to this year. What was your top number 1 song? Did it tell you?
Okay, I didn't look. I haven't looked to see my top number 1 song. Should I look right now?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay, what's yours?
My top number 1 song, which is kind of weird because it wasn't from either of the artists. And I honestly don't feel like I played it all that much. So I was very confused. I feel like it's not accurate. But it told me that my top number 1 played song was I Like That by Kehlani and T-Pain.
Really? It's a good song.
It is a good song. I do enjoy the song, but I don't feel like I played that the most, especially when it just came out in like the summertime.
Wait, how did you find 2021 Wrapped? Mm-hmm. Is that it? Mm-hmm. Okay.
My top 2 artists though were Blast and Queen Naija.
Okay, so my first song, I might have played this song a lot. I don't know if it's the most.
Right.
But it was Close tell you. By LMA.
Oh, a good one.
So that one was my first, or I guess my number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about artists? Or did you write certain songs that you liked throughout the year, or?
Well, I just kind of did it vaguely. Instead of songs, I put a playlist or a playlist. Mm-hmm. Because and I sent you this playlist, the one called I'm Thriving.
Yes.
On Spotify.
Yeah.
A girl named Paula Hernandez made it, and she has a few other ones too, but I just liked that she made a playlist specifically for like uplifting yourself, feeling good about yourself.
Yeah.
I needed a lot of that this year. So that one was
you
my
and me both, bestie. You and me both.
Girl.
That's why you sent it to me.
Hell yeah, we uplift each other. If I find something that's gonna work for me, then I gotta send it to you too.
Absolutely. Even if it doesn't work, too. Like you may as well try it, you know?
Yeah. So that one, I put that one down because it genuinely has like helped.
Yeah.
I just did that, but I didn't do a song specifically.
Okay. Well, I think that playlist is really good. You guys should listen to it. We can probably leave it, since it is Spotify playlist. Yeah. We can probably leave it in the description. So we will add it there.
And she has another one, I think it's called Self-Care, and one like Feel Good.
Okay.
So they're all kind of genuinely like the same type of music, but there's different songs on each one.
Yeah. It's all like chill vibes, but like self-love vibes at the same time.
Yeah, like super uplifting and confidence boosting.
Yes.
Really good.
You really, all really bad good. Bitches. Even the boys. You bad
Did you
bitches.
do any movies?
No.
I threw in a movie only because I just watched it. But like I don't watch like hella movies. I think I'm more of a TV show kind of person.
Me too, but I also don't have cable, so I'm not watching anything new.
And maybe that's what it is too. Because that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Oh, but we can watch it on Hulu, I guess, depending on what it is.
And if you gotta buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Because then they make you rent stuff, even though I'm paying my Hulu.
Right.
You
also have to pay to not have ads. It's an additional like $5.99. It's so stupid. So Hulu, what the hell? Sponsor us.
Get better in 2022. I'm just kidding. It's called The Family Stone. Now, it's not the best movie. I'm not gonna say it was like the best movie I'd ever seen.
Best film of 2021, Gina proclaims.
And I think it's old. I want to say it's not like old, but it's not new. Mm-hmm. But it was entertaining. So it was about a family, or a guy brings home a girl, his girlfriend, for Christmas. And he's bringing her home to his family, but she's really uptight, and his family is not. So they make it very clear that she's not really accepted.
Have I seen this?
I'll finish.
Okay, I'm like trying to think. I think I may have seen this.
So you might. It has Sarah Jessica Parker in it. Every time I see her now, I think of you. But
remind me to tell you something about her in a second.
Okay, so she's the girl who's like really uptight. The family pretty much makes it known that she doesn't fit in. She's not really that welcomed, and she's trying really hard. But since she is uptight, kind of like she just says the wrong things at completely wrong times. Just in general, and it's really awkward. But then weird connections start happening, and things start getting all kinds of twisted. It's really weird, but it's entertaining. Easy to follow. Oh yeah, yeah. So we thought it was funny, and it kept us entertained. So I would say that was a pretty good movie.
Okay.
Again, not the best. 3 out of 5 stars. 3.5.
Because it had her in it, it's a 10 out of 10.
She did good. Like it's so. There's moments where it's just so cringe what she's saying.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, just stop talking.
What is it called? Like secondhand embarrassment?
Yeah. It was real. It was so real. I was like, oh my God.
I love it.
And I get really, I don't know why, but I feel people's embarrassment, that secondhand embarrassment, I feel it so strongly, even in movies, even in things I'm like, oh, like, no.
I'll see someone walking, and if I feel like they're sad about something, I would literally be like, I hope that person has a good day. Like I can feel that they're having a bad day or something. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Have you ever like seen someone do something that was kind of like, if they've tripped or bumped something or like did something that would have been embarrassing, and you've seen it, so when they look at you, you look away so that they don't feel embarrassed?
Yeah. But sometimes it's not like fast enough, so they know for sure
you see. That happened to me.
Oh no.
Except I was the one who bumped myself.
Oh no. You punched yourself in the face.
Dude, it was so, I couldn't help but laugh because I've done it so many times to look away from somebody.
Right.
And I was getting out of my car in high school in the parking lot, and I went to get out, and I started standing up too early, and I bopped the back of my head on the fucking frame.
Dude, them Hondas were durable too. That shit hurt.
And it sat me back down in my chair. And then I look up, and there was a guy sitting in the passenger side of the car next to me, right?
Oh my God. So of course it's next to you.
He's seen it. So he's seen it, and then so as I looked up, he turned his head hella fast. So that he was trying to make me not embarrassed.
Yeah.
But I knew he seen, so I couldn't help but just laugh. And I was like, I just had a moment where someone did it to me.
Yeah, you're like, this
instead
is
of
nice.
me doing it to somebody else. I straight up caught him. I was like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
If he's like recognized my face, he's always gonna see me and be like, she bopped her head hella hard getting out of her car.
Do you think?
And that's all he knows me for. I do. I remember things like that.
Yeah.
Like if I see someone do something embarrassing, like I'll remember them for that moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Because especially if that's the first person or first time you've seen that person, how else would you have,
exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
That's hella funny. Okay. What were your best memories?
Of my best memories of 2021.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay, well, Vegas was definitely a big one.
Yes. That was my first one I wrote down too.
Yeah, I think it was just such, I think for all of us, specifically, you, me, and my sister, it was and we talked about it on one of the episodes, it was a very pivotal moment for our self-esteem and our confidence. Like, we really felt good out there, and that was, I mean, it had it happened for a cool minute. Yeah, like it felt really good. So Vegas was definitely a big one.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see.
We got out of our comfort zones a lot.
Living together in 2021, that was probably one of my favorite memories too, for sure. Yeah, there was so many.
Well, we technically moved in 2020, but it was in the middle, so we got to enjoy a bulk majority of the year together.
Yeah, that was really fun though. We had so many little adventures. Like there was one night where we went out and we went to like this tiki bar and got really good buzz going. Went to Target.
Do you remember when I hurt my finger in the door?
No.
I pinched my finger on the lock. You don't remember that?
Oh yeah. Dude, we were okay. They were what was it? It was like frozen.
We had a blue Hawaiian, and then the other one was a lava flow, which is a pina colada mixed with a strawberry daiquiri.
Strawberry? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was bomb, first off. But those things got you feeling good. Yes. And we had maybe like 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm. And
we had coconut shrimp that were fire, like immaculate. Those coconut shrimp were so fucking good.
So good.
A lot of the food was good, but so we got a good buzz. Went to Target right before it was about to close, got Nerf guns, and then went back to the house and just immediately went into a whole Nerf gun fight, boys versus girls.
And it's funny because no one ever said like, hey, it's gonna start. Like we all just started shooting at each other and running.
We went to the place, walked up the stairs, put our Nerf guns out on the table, started loading them up. And as soon as we were loaded, everyone
it was go time.
And it was on.
It was go time. On. It was so much fun. And then when we ran out of bullets, we're like, okay, now what do we do?
And after that one night, we would find the bullets everywhere, like in a corner, under the couch, in the randomest spots where we swore we picked up everything.
You know what's funny?
We kept finding.
I only used them that one time.
We only used them that one time. I think we took them. I think
we told you guys too, because we're like, oh, there's more people there, you know, so you guys can play with them more. But it was an what do you call it? Impromptu.
Very.
Battle.
It was so fun though. I got hit like dead in my forehead at some point.
Yeah, I think I got cracked in the head too.
In the face. I think we all did.
Yeah.
And I think the lights were out, or at least we had them dimmed or something.
No, we turned them off. Them off.
So we had all the lights off.
Yeah, and then remember we were hiding in the bathroom. Even better. Super fun vibes.
It was good. That was really fun.
And then another one for me was my nephew being born. Poor baby. He's getting so big. He's already crawling.
He's a big smiler. Like he's just always smiling in his pictures.
Baby Shark does it instantly. Like instantly. Really? Yes. And then I started singing Anti-Shark because they don't have one. So I started singing my own remix. Still worked. He loves it. So yeah, my nephew Trey being born was definitely a highlight for sure. But they grow up too fast. So bittersweet.
For real. Yeah. Not gonna lie, I didn't think too much about my favorite memories of 2021.
I honestly just looked through and seen pictures and I was like, oh, I looked like I had fun there. Let me say that.
Yeah, I should have done that.
Because there wasn't a lot that we did, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, definitely the Halloween party.
Ooh.
That was really fun.
Really fun.
Getting ready.
We were Bratz dolls for Halloween.
We were.
And we put our outfits together on our own, just like Shein, whatever. Shein, yeah. Yeah. And I think they came out dope. Like I think that's probably one of my favorite Halloween costumes we've ever done.
Yeah.
I think sure. But even I've ever done.
No, you know? Yeah, same. I felt like the most like put together and like it was an actual costume. Like it actually all went together so perfectly. And it's funny because I never even tried everything on together.
All together?
No. I was just hoping it worked.
We placed it in like
in the picture. Yeah. I tried to make a makeshift thumbnail. It. Yeah.
Because I was like, I was like, I have to picture it. Is it gonna come out like right? Is it gonna look good? Yeah. Dude, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah. By the way, this is also visual podcast this time. At least that's what we're shooting for. So if this works out, we have a visual on our YouTube channel, Cloud Nena. And if you're watching the visual right now, do you like our little cozy background?
I know they probably keep moving a little bit, so give us
this
grace.
This is our first time. Yeah. We're gonna grow from here, but
also
really exciting.
Do you guys notice a difference with the audio?
hella ASMR.
No. We got mics, guys. We are official podcast team here, and y'all are ready for 2022.
When I was practicing like earlier, playing with the mic and stuff, I have my headphones on and I have the microphone, and I'm like, I feel like I live like such a podcaster right now. I was like, wow, a mic, headphones, who the fuck? But Emily was so kind enough to gift us microphones for the podcast, so we were able to go in before the new year with good sounding audio.
Yes.
Merry
Chrysler to not only Gina and myself, but to all of you.
What was it? Christmas.
She said Christmas.
It's so sad because I feel like it's not that funny, but I don't know why it killed me so bad. And even when I watch it again now, it's thank you. I showed it to a couple other people and they're like, oh, like, and that was it. And I'm like, damn, I guess it's just not that funny, but it killed me.
But it's because we have the same humor, bro. That's why it works.
It was the way she did it, the shakiness in her voice.
Yes, Christmas.
Yeah. And I've always kind of thought that like she sang a little, obviously she's an amazing singer, but that like she's, you know, has this little like way of saying things differently. Yeah. I don't know if you would call it like folky or I don't really know, but like she says things a little bit differently. She pronounces them in a different way.
I was like, differently?
But it's not because of her accent though. She's just pronouncing it like that because she doesn't talk like that, you know?
Christmas.
Don't start. I'm gonna fucking die.
I hope this sounds really good because of the mic too. Okay. Another thing
with the memories.
Yeah. Another thing I got into, well, I did it once before it got like rainy and gross. But definitely want to do it more next year was kayaking. It was beautiful.
Oh yeah, that looked, when you guys sent the video, it looked so nice.
It
looked so fucking nice.
It was beautiful. We have to go back when it's not raining.
Once the weather gets back to,
because when the water even gets in your little kayak, bro, my ass cheeks were cold. I was like, yo. My ass was literally wet for like an hour after that because my shorts were soaked.
Can I tell you a joke?
Of course.
Okay. Well, first off, can you believe they're still together? Huh? Who? Well, after all the shit that they've been through.
Who, bitch?
Your ass cheeks.
You're fucking dumb.
I seen it on the TikTok and I thought it was good. I was like, oh, I gotta do that to somebody. And you started talking about a wet ass, and then I'm like, it reminded me of the joke.
For a second, I was like, nobody said nothing about a wet ass, but I know what you mean because I said my shorts.
You said the water got into your kayak.
Yeah, it did. It was cold as hell too, but it kind of felt good because it was hot outside.
You liked that one, didn't you? You liked that one.
Nice little refresher or whatever.
Oh, whatever.
A little wet breeze.
You're nasty.
Okay, what's your next one, Gina? I know you did tons of fun shit, bitch. You did tons of fun shit.
I was about to say, girl, I'm ready to go into the lessons because I got more of those than I do have memories. I'm done. I think I'm pretty much good out right now.
Ooh, your birthday? That was fun.
My birthday was really fun.
That was really fun.
That was a really good time. We went to, first off, I got a surprise. It was really sweet. I don't have the video though. No one ever sent. I think my sister got the video. Yeah. She never sent it to me, but you couldn't really see me in it anyways.
It was against the TV.
And I walked. She was like, "You walked straight in."
Like, where were you gonna go?
I know, it was cool. We went to a hotel. We got dinner. We went out, danced. Stood outside of a car in front of 7-Eleven dancing drunk.
We made $7 that night at the club, y'all.
Oh yeah, we made $7. Okay, no. And then got back to the hotel. We seen somebody like literally. Yeah. we seen someone getting arrested.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. We had to stay in the car because we didn't want to walk by. Meanwhile, all of that was happening. So
yeah, there was a lot going on.
We stayed in the car for close to an hour, if not over an hour, waiting for this all to be resolved, but it never did.
And at that point, it was literally probably like 3 a.m. already.
Yeah, for sure.
And we were stuck there for like an hour.
We were stuck in the car.
Okay, we have to go back inside. Like, fuck it, we're just gonna walk through.
We'll just go around.
So we did.
Yeah.
So and then we went back up to our hotel room and then watched it from there because it was still happening. Actually, that reminds me. Okay, so then that brings me to my dad's birthday, because we did a little surprise party for him, and it went smoothly. It actually all worked out. My brother was able to come down for it, which was really? A surprise.
I didn't know that.
And my grandma actually came too.
Oh my god!
So he had all his kids, the grandkids, and his mom there. And
so sweet.
We fully surprised him, and he was just like a little kid. Like, it was the cutest thing. And he said, this is my first surprise party like ever in his whole life. I'm gonna show you, actually.
Surprised, like he really did not have any idea.
Dude, I'll show you the video afterwards. Okay. And I have these two. I brought one of the disposable cameras to take pictures that night. Got them developed, and there's 2 pictures that are my absolute all-time favorite pictures of him. The smile on his face.
I love it.
Yeah, it was candid ones, so it's like a genuine smile. Like, he looks like a little kid. He was just like, you could feel the happiness radiating off the picture.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's another good memory, because we were able to actually pull it off, and he had no idea.
That's no idea. Yeah, because most of the time it's like they either know a little bit, or they're just like hinting toward like something's gonna happen, but like when you're completely shocked and surprised, that's the best.
It's funny because he's not the type to show a lot of emotion. So it's like in the video, it's not like this huge reaction, because that's like, we're not really gonna ever get
expecting it though.
Yeah, not expecting it at all.
Yeah.
But the reaction that he has, that's a big reaction for him.
Right.
Right. It's funny too, because it's funny because you see those videos of like surprises and stuff. It's like, oh my god, this is like whole thing. He walked in and the lights are off, and we had the decorations and like by the door. And the first thing he goes, "Oh shit, the fuck!" That's the first thing he said.
That would be your dad's reaction.
Yeah, he was literally like, "The fuck!" And then so when I put a video together at the end, and I had to cut that part out because it's just like it took away from the whole like wholesomeness of the surprise.
Right. But that
the
was
original
a genuine
video
reaction.
Yeah.
I love it. That's hella funny. Speaking of surprises, the other memory that I put on here was the picnic that Chev planned, which just happened a couple weeks ago, but I was genuinely surprised. Like, I had no idea. I knew he was doing something, but I just didn't know what. And so, that was definitely a very, very, very special moment, because we got to
it turned out to be
pictures too.
One of our old classmates' mom.
Yes.
Like, that's her company.
Shout
which
out
is really
Joyful
dope.
Picnics on Instagram.
Such a small world.
Yeah. She even bought me sweet tea, bro.
Oh,
I'll send you the picture of it in the cooler.
She on her own, or he had told her that you like sweet tea?
She asked like, is there a certain drink that she likes? And he was like, oh, she really likes sweet tea. So she went and bought like the Gold Peak one, the sweet tea one.
Oh, she knows a good one too.
Like, she did her thing, bro. Joyful Picnics on Instagram. Shout out. She did an amazing
Shout out to them.
job.
It was beautiful.
It was so pretty. I loved it. And the pictures I actually have a tripod now that I got from Ross. And it works lovely. It has a little Bluetooth remote like we had. I lost the one that we bought for some reason, but it came with it. So I was like, perfect. And we got to take some really cute pictures. We went wine tasting, and I got some nice gifts. It's not about that, but my man's works hard, so he got me some nice gifts. And
what did he get you?
Well, I'll just show you guys, like, whatever. No, I'm just kidding. I got this infinity bracelet, and at first I thought it was actually like our date engraved, but it actually is 1 through 10 on both sides, so it's like all of the numbers of Roman numerals. And then I got this necklace that he didn't really realize. I don't know if you guys can see it too well, but it kind of looks like a flower, and it matches my ring, but he didn't realize that at first.
Oh shit.
But the minute I opened it, I was like, oh my god, it matches my ring, because it has like a spiral to it, you know what I mean? And so I don't know how the hell he ended up doing that without even realizing that he did it, but it matches like a set.
That's so dope.
So crazy. Yeah.
Is the 1 through 10, does that mean something? Is that like significant?
I think it's just so that you have like all the numbers, because it's on both sides, and it just, they called it like an infinity bracelet. So
okay,
yeah, so it just like clips on one side, it like clamps, and then it has like 1 through 10 on both sides, and I think that's 10. Oh wait, maybe that's not 10. I don't know how to read Roman numerals, but it's an infinity bracelet.
No, that's dope. That's really cool.
I loved it, but it was super cute. The pictures came out really, really good.
They did.
Check out my Instagram.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I stopped. I'm like, wait, what's your Instagram username?
Melita,
I was like, check out
Emelita baby
_baby.
Yeah, that's it
On Instagram.
That's it. And I just had one more that literally happened this past weekend, but it's like off the check off the bucket list. So on Christmas Day, we actually in the nighttime we went hot tubbing in the rain, and it was really fun.
That's such, like, I don't know what it is about the hot tub and in the cold.
Yes.
But it's so nice.
It's a vibe, bro.
So nice.
We were tipsy. We were with Chef's sister and her friend, or her like one of her neighbors, but they're really good friends. And we just hung out at the pool. Nobody was there, or at the hot tub, I should say. But nobody was there, obviously, because it was raining, and it was like kind of thunder and lightning at one point. So we're like, should we be in a body of water? Probably not. But the girl that we were with, she's from the East Coast, so she's like, oh my God, you guys are like complaining about this, and like, she's like, I'm so used to it, you know. So it was really nice. It was our first time meeting her. She made lasagna, and like her family still lives on the East Coast, so it was really nice to like get to spend it with her, because she didn't have anybody there. So
yeah,
really nice. We had a good time.
That's hecka funny. We did kind of the same thing on Christmas.
Really?
We walked, not in a hot tub though, but
it was gonna say, shut up, you're fucking lying.
We just decided to be out in the rain when it's pouring rain.
Right.
Because we had the family over. Yeah. And then we're like, let's go on a walk. And it was kind of sprinkling at first.
Right.
And so we're like, it's probably going to start raining, but it's fine.
Yeah.
And so we go out, walk around the whole block. We got maybe like 2 minutes in, and it just starts coming down, like pouring rain, fully clothed. And we're fully
clothed.
Yeah, this probably wasn't the best idea.
Right.
I'm surprised though. I don't wear waterproof mascara. I don't like it. I hate waterproof makeup.
It's really hard to come off.
Really fucking hard to come off. And for me, I feel like the mascara is really dry. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't use a good waterproof one.
No, it is dry on purpose, I think.
Yeah, so I hated it. But my mascara didn't come off.
And it was like getting on your face?
I was soaked. I would literally clothes, hair, face. Everything. I had like drops going down my face. I was soaked.
You know, like when you spray your setting spray and it's like,
yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, it was literally like coming down, but my mascara never ran. I was so surprised. It made me like my favorite mascara even more. Maybelline.
Come
the
through.
Black Maybelline bottle. I forgot what it's called.
Oh, Lash Sensational.
Thank you. The Black Lash Sensational Maybelline mascara. That's been
Maybelline
my
sponsor.
favorite. That's been my favorite mascara for, I'm not even kidding, since like high school. So at least 5-6 years.
Yeah.
At least.
Ooh, you're aging yourself on camera.
I know. So it could be even before then.
Right.
No, it's true. But yeah, so that one was really, that's a really good mascara, because that shit's not waterproof, and it did not run at all.
Period.
At all. I never had to touch it.
I love that. I honestly haven't used that mascara, I think, since that time. For me, subtle flex, no, I'm just kidding, humble flex, it really doesn't matter. It's the way that I do. It sounds really fucking weird, but I roll my eye while I put mascara on, and for some reason that like makes it like volumized.
Oh yeah, it like curls it a little bit more.
Exactly. So for me, my lashes are kind of long already, but I don't have like thick lashes. They're very like wimpy. So as long as I can layer it a little bit and it's a buildable mascara, like it'll look fine. But it doesn't really matter like if it's, you know, a certain brand or like whatever. Like I can use whatever as long as it is a buildable mascara, which that one definitely is.
Yeah. Oh,
I like
no,
that
bro.
one for volume, though,
short lashes. I got really short lashes, so I need a good mascara that's not like, I hate clumpy.
Yeah, they're like spidery.
Some people really like that though. Like they like the look of that. I'm just not one of those people.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be picking it off for like 8 years afterwards.
And then it gets in your eye, and that shit hurts.
Yeah, and when I wear mascaras, usually when I'm wearing makeup, which means that I'm wearing my contacts, so that's not like a good it's not a good combo. And then like you said, with certain mascaras that are dry, like you have like flakes all over your face and then you wipe it or something, now you got a whole ass streak. Now you just want to cry and go home because
now you look like a raccoon.
Yeah,
thought you were trying to be cute.
That is the most frustrating, one of the most frustrating parts about like wearing makeup. I'm not even gonna say being a woman, because not everyone wears
anybody
makeup.
can wear makeup.
And exactly. So like just of wearing makeup in general, like I feel like I'm wearing makeup, I can't breathe, and then also like the slightest little scratch or like little thing you do on your face is like your whole face is fucked. Like what the hell.
Have you ever sneezed right after putting mascara?
Yes,
it's the worst,
and you can't control it, and then it's like all over. Yes, that's the most
all over.
And if you've already done your concealer, why I'll
refuse to sneeze. Or I really try my best to keep my eyes open. Like,
how do you sneeze with your eyes open?
I don't know. I don't know if I actually accomplished it, because it felt like I was trying to keep my eyes open, and I didn't get mascara on the bottom. But they probably like closed at some point. I just didn't squeeze them.
You didn't like squint as much. Yeah, that makes sense. Because when I do it, oh Lord, or like, you know, when you're driving and you sneeze, bro, that is so scary. That is so scary. Because I always sneeze twice.
Multiple, that's what I was gonna say, like the multiple sneezes.
Right. I only get a good little minute before I'm like, okay.
I had some friends that, they're still my friends, but every time they sneeze, it's at least 3. But usually it's like 3, 4, maybe 5.
Yeah.
So it's like that should get hella dangerous.
Yeah, no, seriously, and you can't control it. You're like, like you can't do much.
It's hella funny. And it was sisters, so the other sister would be like, "Shut the fuck up!" And she's like, "I can't help it."
She's like, "I'm literally sneezing,"
even though they all did it.
Right. I didn't personally write down specific lessons that I learned, although I definitely learned a lot. But I have some quotes for like next year, but I'm sure we learned very similar lessons. So I'll just piggyback a little bit off of the ones that you say, because
okay,
I've been here the whole year and I definitely know that we've learned the same lesson, or we've taught each other a lot, to be honest.
So first lesson, the first one I wrote down, which I think is probably, I want to say, my biggest one.
Okay.
A couple of them are kind of similar, but my biggest one is to believe in myself again and get the confidence back that I feel like I used to have.
Yeah.
And not in the sense of like, be very transparent right now. I've never been like a very confident person, like, I guess like with my looks.
Yeah, me neither.
Like in that sense.
Yeah.
Like I've never been that, but I was confident in myself in the sense of like my abilities. Like I knew once I learned something, I can do it well. I know what to do. I got it. I can handle it.
Right.
And I was very confident in myself about that.
Yeah.
Like
you're very self-sufficient.
Like even like my first high school job, like I felt once I had it down, I was like, cool, I'm good. The managers used to leave when I would show up to work, because I'm like, oh, cool, you're here. Got it. I'm gonna go do office work, and you guys can.
Because they knew you could do it. Mm-hmm.
And I felt confident in doing it. So like I had that confidence in me. I had it in the other jobs that I did.
Yeah.
And I feel like slowly, because I can't think of a certain time where it just switched, but I feel like slowly my anxiety and my depression really made myself not believe in myself again.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it until one day I was like, what the fuck? Like, why do I feel so, like anything I think of like for me to do, I'm like, oh, that would be cool. And then I'm like, but how am I going to do that? Like, I can't do that. Like with this. And like, then I have my anxiety and this and this. And I'm like, and then one day I was just like, what the fuck, dude? Like that used to never be a problem. It was like, once I just did it, I learned it, and then I was good.
Yeah.
And like, it's not like that anymore. So definitely I want to go into 2022 believing in myself, and no matter what I take on, just, I can do it, you know?
Yeah. I actually seen a quote that kind of goes with that. That I want to tell you, or I wanted to share regardless, but I feel like it's good at this moment. Because I feel like you said, you don't remember a moment where you were like, oh, like something changed, you know?
Just switch, yeah.
Exactly. So it says, in order to change it, right? Like to change it into something positive, I always tell myself, like, I swear every freaking weekend I have an epiphany or not an epiphany, but I'm like, oh, like I'm going to get my whole life together, like on Monday. You know what I mean? it's not realistic, but I do it. I've done it for years and years and years. Like, oh, I'll start Monday. Oh, Monday will be the day. Monday, blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, the first of the month or the first of the year even, you know, whatever. But it's not really realistic to think that way. You know, one day is not just gonna, like, you're gonna wake up and be like, oh my God, my life has changed. Like, I'm a different person.
And then it kind of, and then it kind of like allows yourself to put it off until whatever day you set it for.
Excuse. It's like a crutch, but also an excuse at the same time. But I actually seen this thing, and it's one of the things that I want to go into like next year, prioritizing, not like the end goal, but like the small things to get me there, you know? So like I can track my progress better than being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm like, there's no way, you know? But it says it's the small habits, how you spend your mornings, how you talk to yourself, what you read, what you watch, who you share your energy with, who has access to you, that will change your life.
That goes into the next thing I wrote down.
Guys, we didn't even talk about this stuff prior because we wanted it to be very organic. So I love that this is flowing the way that it is.
Yeah, that's really cool, because literally the next thing I wrote down was figure out, but also know my positive triggers. Yeah. So that when how did I write it? I was like, so that when I'm feeling triggered negatively, then I know what I can do that will work. Yeah. You know, because like, you know, they give you like, and not saying that this is bad because it does work for people, but like for me, when they say like breathing, if I'm feeling my anxiety super strong and someone's just telling me like, just focus on breathing and just take these deep breaths, it does not work for me. Or just in the past, it has not worked. Yeah. And so knowing what positive triggers I have that will work for me in those times, so that I can get myself out of it to do what I need to do and handle what I need to handle, you know?
Yeah. No, that makes hella sense, because especially when you're by yourself in that state, you're thinking of anything other than, I need to be focusing on my breathing, like deep belly breaths. Like, no one in a panic moment when you feel like it's an emergency, life or death, because that's what anxiety does to you, and it's that intense, you're not thinking about that. There's no fucking way.
Everything feels so magnified and heavy that breathing just seems so like
minuscule, like
it makes no sense. No, and I get that it does help people. It's never helped me. Genuinely, it's never been the factor to calm me down.
It's the same thing when people say like, oh, you know, look for 5 things you can see in the room and blah blah blah. I've tried that, like as
sensory things and stuff,
and I get how like distracting your mind obviously makes the most sense as to like whatever you're gonna do, or like in that state thinking about something else, or like distracting your mind, rewiring your mind, whatever the hell you want to, however you want to phrase it. It probably would work, but like getting to that point of recognizing, okay, this is what I need to do, and it works every time. It's not realistic, because one anxiety attack or panic attack is going to be way different or triggered differently. Even if it's the same trigger, it could be triggered differently.
You can feel that next time.
Exactly. So it's really hard, because you have to figure out like what works for each scenario with each trigger, with I don't know, but it's like unlearning the bad habits too.
It's like you have to have double the positive things for how many negative things, like when you're feeling that, because like you said, one thing's not going to work the same time. No, like it's literally like with a kid, like a kid can be having a tantrum, you do one thing and it worked and it's cool, you go to do the same thing, it doesn't fucking work. It doesn't work, you know, like it's just that up in the air, right? But if you know like a lot of different other methods that do work for you, then it's like, okay, let me try this one next. Okay, that didn't work, let's go with this, you know? But it's also like wanting, it's like a gear shift, wanting almost to shift it, or like for me it sucks, because it's like anxiety and depression are like hand in hand,
they work together in such fucked up ways that it like
creates a very vicious cycle.
Oh my God, it's disgusting. Like you want so bad, like you see the end goal, you see yourself happy with no anxiety, with like just the perfect dream life that you're manifesting, right? But then you see like thorns and bushes and freaking roadblocks and all this stuff to get there, and you're so exhausted from just doing the bare minimum of surviving and getting through your day because you're so anxious, or you know, whatever it is, to where you're like, I don't even have the energy to put in the effort to get me from here to there. You know 100%. What I mean? So it's like, how do you even, like next year, obviously we're going to figure this out. But right now I'm like, how do you even break that? Because sometimes pushing yourself is good. And sometimes you may be like hurting yourself even worse,
like pushing yourself too
hard.
So
it's like knowing the balance of knowing the balance of giving yourself grace when you need it, but also giving yourself a kick in the ass when you need it, and knowing which one you need at what time, and being also like we're always the worst critics of ourselves, right? Like you mentioned, you lost, you know, like your sense of like not confidence, but
call it my confidence,
like confidence, or just like your in general, like your the way that you present yourself, like you lost what you would say is like how you want to be, right? But it's also like, how do you get back to that place? But you've learned this and this from that time, and like it's just, it's a, like you said, it's a vicious cycle. But I think it's also like unlearning the bad habits that you have, because like negative self-talk is always like my go-to, unfortunately, which I'm rewiring my brain, of course, and trying to do better. But it's like instantly it's, oh, because I'm not good enough, or because I didn't do enough, or because I'm lacking in some area, that's why it's not working out. But it's not true. Sometimes it's a journey. Like it is what it is.
That's how like,
so I think like giving your self grace, it's hard.
It's hard to know the balance. It's hard to know, okay, in this moment I really need to just take a step back and give myself a minute, and or in this minute when to push yourself and be like, okay, I'm kind of just trying to like either bitch out or like let my anxiety or my depression take over, and then it stops you from being able to do something you can do, you know, like you can do this, but anxiety's a little bitch in your ear saying no you can't, something's gonna go wrong, it's not gonna work out, and then you believe it, you know. And I think that's what I did for so long, is that I believed it. I believed that, okay, this is not gonna work out, this is not gonna, it's not gonna go right, or even if something goes wrong, like that's the end of the world. It's not. And it's like, because
it's so strong in your fucking brain. It's not even just like in your ear telling you, like it's literally in your brain what you truly wholeheartedly believe to
like,
be
I feel
true.
like
and that's the fucked up part, is because you can't like, I don't know if you've ever seen those pictures of like anxiety texting you, and it's like, oh, you should be worried, and it's like, about what? And it's like, exactly,
and it says,
and you're like,
it's like, about what? And then it's just nothing, and you're like, you're right. And it's like,
and it was like, exactly. Like, why? Why is it like that? It's frustrating.
I feel like,
but it's also like, how does our brain do that?
They say it's like a chemical imbalance or something, or that depression. Did they say depression's like a chemical imbalance or something?
I think it's both.
Anxiety too? I
think it's both.
I also had one more. I learned it, but I'm still practicing it. I'm still trying to get there. But it's to put myself out there more, in the sense of, with my anxiety, I also get social anxiety very strongly. And I came to the point where I really thought about everything that we want to do in life, and the goals that we have and the aspirations that we have business-wise and all that stuff. Like, I can't say, oh, well, I'm socially anxious, I can't go do that. I can't fucking do that. Otherwise, we're not going to get anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
So I got to a point where I'm like, okay, well, at some point, which might as well be now, you're going to have to get the fuck over that. And it's not even in the sense of get over, because obviously you can't just be like, oh, gone, you know, there it goes. But in the sense of like
work toward,
I have to figure out,
how
to just push myself and know how to get myself out of it.
Yeah.
I didn't even used to be that way. Like, I used to be a very, very social person.
Yeah.
And it changed, and it stayed that way for a really long time. So I really want to get myself back to the point of, even if I'm feeling socially anxious, I can still go and present myself in a way where I can keep myself together, you know, have conversations, even if I need to take breaks every like 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes in between, just to kind of collect myself, then go back and, you know, continue. You know what I'm saying? Like, as of right now, when I feel socially anxious, I just go into my hermit crab, and I will isolate myself to the max. And so I really want to, I feel like this is sliding, sorry. I really want to not do that. Like, I want to push past my social anxiety and get more comfortable with talking to people and networking and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And also just in the sense of, we want to have like a lot more guests, you know, on our podcast, and that's something that I need to be better at, being able to have those conversations, you know?
Right. But I think honestly, us starting this podcast is like the first step to that, because
but it's easy with you. Like, it's so easy. Me and you just talking, because, you know, it's us.
Our comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, we're practicing. If we were just stitch lip the entire day, all day, never talk to nobody, imagine how much harder it would be to break out of that. Even just doing this and like putting our thoughts and opinions out there, whether or not people agree with them, like that's already nerve-wracking enough, because being a people pleaser, like I want everybody to just, you know, be happy and fucking thrive, but I can't always, you know, agree with everyone. So that's,
you actually just made me think of another one.
Huh?
You actually just made me think of another one.
Not being such a people pleasing ass bitch, because that's me too.
Not being such a fucking people pleaser, and really allowing myself to open up a little bit more, like show more of my actual personality rather than just people pleasing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my people pleasing is so strong that becomes my personality. You know what I'm saying? And people think that that's my personality. So when they see me actually being when I'm comfortable and how I talk or do or am doing whatever I'm doing, they're like, what? Like who, when did you get? And it's like, that's literally how I am.
Never felt something more that you've said in my entire life.
It's really like, it honestly, it really fucking sucks. It sucks to feel like someone doesn't actually know you, but it's because of my people pleasing that's I've not allowed them to get to know me. Right. It's my fault.
Maybe you don't even know you. Sometimes I swear I don't even know the things that I like to do. Or if someone was to ask me like, oh, such and such, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, so-and-so, like, what would you say? Like, I genuinely, and it's not because I want to like copy somebody. Like, it's not even about that.
Crazy.
Yes, because it's like, crazy. It's funny because we have these conversations all the time and these things where we're like, oh my God, I relate to that. Oh my God, yes, dude, I feel exactly the same. But in a way that we're like being vulnerable and sharing. Oh my God. What? I just had an epiphany moment, an aha freaking moment. Do you remember when we made our vision board for 2021?
Yeah.
We said we wanted to be more vulnerable.
Oh my God, we hit that. We're definitely hitting that.
See, and it's because we believe in ourselves enough and have a passion enough to make this everything that it's supposed to be and that we want it to be, that I feel like that's what's going to break us like away from the social anxiety. Like we can talk about anything that we're passionate about until someone will tell us to shut the hell up. So it's not that we can't talk to people.
Like, girl, we can talk for hours and hours and hours.
Girl, we could talk. But it's just, I think when we get into certain situations where we feel uncomfortable, maybe because we don't know the person, but instead of being like, oh God, this is going to be awkward, maybe being like, what can I learn from this person? Or what can this person teach me? Or what can I learn about this person that I didn't know? And like, rather than focusing so much on making the conversation flow, I think that's my problem, is that I'll be cool for like a couple minutes and then I'm like, shit, now it's awkward. What do we talk about? If that conversation doesn't develop, and then I feel like it's on me to then over exert the conversation because I don't want to make that person feel uncomfortable, but they probably don't give two shits. That like, this is just an everyday day to them, you know? But for me, I'm like literally dying.
There was one thing that was like, it was like, we have to get used, and maybe it's another thing, either social anxiety or like people pleasing.
Yeah.
But silence, like
it's not awkward every time.
Being okay with silence, because like a lot of the times we take silence as like awkward,
negative.
If it's silent, like, oh my God, it's just this awkward energy. But sometimes like it's okay if it's silent. Like, you know, we don't have to be talking every second.
Right.
But it feels that, well, that's why they say when you can be silent with someone, like not talking, that's how you know you're comfortable with them, because it doesn't feel awkward.
Right. Because you're not like,
but when you're around someone you're not comfortable with, that silence feels like, we're not making good conversation.
Right. Or like, this is weird.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And that's for me, funny. I'm just like, oh, like, I'm going to go to the bathroom, or like, you know, like I want to leave. I want to bail out.
Yeah. My thing is I always need to have something that I can drink, something I can sip on, because I can hold it so it can keep my hands busy. And then if I ever don't know what to do, like
emotional
talking,
support water bottle too.
Yeah, literally, like I can drink from it makes it so that if there is silence, I'm drinking something, so there's a reason why.
There's an excuse.
Yes, dude, it's
but
so
why
bad.
are we like this?
We will not be. 2022, we will make us, not saying we'll be completely new people, but we will make a significant change for the better.
Absolutely. And I feel like also I hold back a lot because I feel like someone will disagree with me. And it's not because I don't want someone to disagree with me. I
Right.
really genuinely to my core don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I just don't want to like have that awkward conversation where I feel like I have to debate about something, like,
right, like a confrontation.
Exact confrontation. Yeah, that's not my strong suit at all.
Yeah.
Never has been.
And
probably because the people pleasing.
Yeah. One of the things, and that what's funny is that I enjoy debating. Like I enjoy going back and forth when
if
it's
I'm
playful.
Educated on the subject, then
and when it's playful, like I like, well, no, I guess like in school I used to like it too. Intense. Like you said, like, but I think it's when it's with people that either you're going to be around or, or if this person might cause like even more problems. And it's like, you can't just have that disagreement or that confrontation and then it's let go.
Like agree to disagree if you do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Like I feel like when we do it, like we respect each other's opinion and just respect each other enough to know, like, don't cross a certain line,
Yeah.
If that's genuinely how that person feels, why would you make them feel like shit? Unless it's like obviously something very bad,
Yeah. And it's,
but I feel like
we always
it's not
say
worth
it
to like lose something or lose a friend over like their
opinion
of something, unless it's like racism or something, because then you can't sit with us. That's
very true. There is definitely boundaries.
Yeah,
but
there's levels
for sure. But it's like, oh fuck, I was gonna say something. I don't have it anymore.
That we respect each other enough. But are debating.
That is what we were saying. It's not it's not
ringing any bells.
Yeah, we'll just let it go. But yeah, we can agree to disagree and be respectful because not everyone's gonna agree all the time.
Right.
That's what I was gonna say. It's not always how you say what you say, it's how you say it. And we always say that.
It's always how you say it, not what you say.
Because it's like you can, and I think that's also the difference. I genuinely, when I think it comes to like friends and stuff too, because you can have a friend that's just say in a certain situation they're completely wrong, and there's friends that won't tell you. I don't want those friends.
Right. We classify them as yes men.
Yeah, you don't need those. I promise you do not need those. They will not get you anywhere.
You're not going to grow.
Exactly. And it's like, you can tell your friend they're wrong, but you're not going to be like, dude, what the fuck are you thinking? Blah, blah, blah. Like, to be like, okay, look, like, I'm your girl and I wouldn't be telling you this if I wasn't being a true friend.
If I didn't love you. Yeah.
Yeah, but this one's
with love and light, you were being a bitch.
And like, and even like myself, like if I, let's say I got into it with somebody and like, and then I want to talk about it with you, I'm like, dead ass, like, am I wrong? Like I asked, like, I'm like, tell me,
please tell me.
Am I exaggerating? Am I being dramatic? Like, tell me if I'm wrong, please. That way I know, like,
you're emotionally charged. You won't see it like clearly,
Yeah. So like, I want that for myself.
You should depend on those
someone
friends.
Else. Yeah.
And I feel like it's one thing for someone to be like a low-key hater, like a low-key hating ass friend that is always has something to say about what you're doing, saying blah blah blah. That's the difference. And I think next year we should do an episode on like friends and friendships and like how to spot a good friend, how to know when the fuck to dip, because Gina definitely helped me through that. I don't want to talk about it right now. I'll save it for the episode.
That'll be a good episode though, because we got some good little stories about that.
Being a people pleaser has always been, like you said, a personality trait for me. And so I feel like I stayed in a lot of friendships that I definitely shouldn't have. And boundaries are never, I think they all kind of tie together. Right. But it sucks because boundaries and like confrontation and all of these things have such a negative connotation to them when it really doesn't have to be. Like a disagreement doesn't always have to be this big old blowout fight that, you think this and you think that and da 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 and I hate you and I blah blah blah. Like it doesn't have to be that. It's just,
I think it's better when you disagree that you can still like get like it's not even get over, because you can have a disagreement without it being being upsetting or anything like that. Like you should be able to. You should disagree with certain things. Like there's no way that you agree on everything with any single person. There's just no way.
Right.
Right. So like have those disagreements, and when you can work them out or end it with a joke or end it with like
exactly.
All right,
it doesn't have to be so intense.
Yeah.
To get your point across. But I feel like people think that they do in order to be right. It's just stupid. if I can educate someone or like whatever, then I will. But it's also like how you get your response from them. But also you're not doing it for the response. So I guess you got to have weigh your options on like what you're willing to do with when you're trying to work it out with someone. But yeah, I think that would be a really good episode because
definitely would.
I've definitely known that they weren't good friends, but I don't like to hurt people's feelings. So
the people pleasing comes in when it comes to ending a relationship.
Right. That and also just being like if I know the conversation is gonna be confrontational, my face gets hot, my stomach hurts. Like I just don't want to deal with it. I'd rather just run away or just do whatever the hell you say, even though that sounds really bad, but like
no,
and
real,
not
though.
to an extreme, to where like someone's telling me go kill this person. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. No, not like that, obviously, but I have an opinion. Like I do definitely have my own opinion about things, but sometimes I just rather be like, like deal with whatever someone's saying, agree with them just to like pass it without having that like negative
awkward or negative
experience. Yeah. But I think next year this year I learned that boundaries are very important and that when people go against your boundaries or don't respect your boundaries, then that's a problem. And it's more than just they don't agree with what you're doing or saying. It's like you put up boundaries to protect yourself from whatever the situation is. So if that person doesn't respect your boundaries enough to go along with them, then maybe that person doesn't respect you personally.
Regardless of who it is, family member, friend, spouse, like I don't care who it is. If they're not respecting your boundaries, like they don't need to be in your life. Especially because, like we said, for us and millions of other people who are also people pleasers, we set boundaries later in life. Like we set boundaries, like we could be setting boundaries now. You know, we could be setting boundaries in 2 years once we realize, like you said, we're still getting to know ourselves, and it feels like we don't. So when we do get to know ourselves more, there's most likely going to be different boundaries set. You know,
and it's unlearning the bad habits of just being a people pleaser that you're like stepping into your power, but also feeling afraid to because you don't have that confidence yet to be like, this is who I am, this is what I think, and this is what I'm about. I have that underneath, and like with people that I'm very close to, like obviously you know what my beliefs are, you know what my you know values are and all that. It's just outside of my circle that I'm like, I'm scared, you know. Or even with work, like setting boundaries at work is such a thing. Like you need to set boundaries at work. If you don't, my God, they will run all over you and continue to do so until you're freaking dead. And then they'll replace you because that's how easy it is.
If you're listening to this and you needed a sign, if you're working at a job that makes you do so much more other things that one is not in your position, not in your pay.
Right.
You shouldn't be doing it. Meaning if it's not in your position and not in your pay, you should not be doing it, but they're having you do it consistently.
Yes. If you're questioning, is this really my job?
Yeah. You either need to ask for a different position with a different raise or find a different job, because you should feel respected and you should feel appreciated for your work and not taken advantage of. And it's always the people pleasers that get taken advantage of. So
because they'll go to the ends of the earth. We know, guys, like
if we can't say it enough.
Yes, I'm saying like if we can't say it enough, that we're not just talking out of our ass from Pinterest fucking quotes Tumblr that we find for you guys. Like it's not just about the wisdom of the week, my friends. We're literally learning as we speak, and this part of like healing and undoing negative habits that we have and negative thoughts that we have about ourselves, like undoing that is all the hard work. But it'll be so much worth it when you can just be like, wow, I really freed myself from that feeling.
I did that.
You know?
Yeah.
Like it's an incredible thing. And I feel like you will only be able to recognize your own growth at the end of the day, because the way that people perceive you is kind of a reflection of them, not really of you. Does that make sense? Like
if all you're putting out is good energy, and people are still finding things. Yeah. And people are still trying to find things to say that are negative. They're projecting.
Exactly.
It has nothing to do with you.
Has nothing to do with you and a lot to do with them.
Again, it doesn't feel like that a lot of the times. Yeah. There you go.
It all
ties in.
Full circle. Yeah, it really does.
It's a whole woven basket with all these different factors.
It's a melting pot of trauma. of undoing trauma. It's so like people think trauma like or traumatic experiences in your life have to be this big old like news story. It could literally be the smallest thing that sticks with you in, you know, whatever conversation or whatever that you're trying to work through. Just remember who you were before it happened. Like for me, it's more recognize not only why am I feeling like this, like what's triggering me, but also like where did it come from?
Yeah.
You know, because
like,
you don't just wake
source?
up one day insecure about something or wake up one day having a certain opinion about something. Like it's most likely that you heard the opposite and you're like, oh, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I feel like you don't just wake up and look at yourself and be like, oh, I'm ugly. Like
no, I did.
You don't do that. Same. I'm just saying you probably don't, but I did. No. But I feel like you don't have those insecurities about yourself at a very, very young age until it's kind of instilled into you.
That I think genuinely, and this is something anybody can relate to because it comes from school. Like certain, I think, besides because family can also do it too. I'm not saying that it can't come from family because
right. But you spend most of your time as a kid at school.
Kids are fucking ruthless and they're mean, and every kid at some point goes through a little phase. Yeah, and they think that like if someone makes a joke saying something mean and they laugh and that it's not that they're not part of it, but it's you're still part of that.
Right.
And it sucks. Like you can feel good about yourself and then all of a sudden you get to a certain age in school where people start making comments and that's where it starts coming into play.
Yeah.
You know, like my nephew, he starts saying things that he doesn't like about himself. And I'm like, he's 9 years old and this was happening before. And I'm like, dude, it has to be kids at school because otherwise, like you said, you don't just as a child be like, I don't like this. I don't like my eyes. I don't like my nose. I don't like my teeth.
You don't know to not like something.
Exactly. You know? Exactly. Yeah.
That's not what you're worried about.
No.
At such a young age, you're worried about going to school, making friends, you know, playing
and
with
even
your
then
friends, having
making
fun.
friends is whoever. It doesn't matter what the friend looks like or nothing. It's whoever you're playing with and you have a good time and like
exactly.
That's it.
And then you become friends. Most of the time you don't even talk about, you know, becoming friends. You just start hanging out one day and then it's like, oh, we're friends, you know?
Literally.
So it's like those things are taught to you, negative or positive. Like if you teach yourself or you teach your kids or whatever as at a young age to love themselves and love these features about them that make them different, then you grow up loving it. You know? So it genuinely depends on like you said, at school, your family, that type of thing. And if you didn't have a good experience, maybe, or a very positive experience, then now you have those insecurities and it's like redoing those. Like it's really hard to go on for so long hating something about yourself or just not liking something about yourself and then reversing it, although it's the same at that moment. You know what I mean?
Because it's
like most people will be like, oh, they lose weight and they feel good.
Yeah.
But it's not really about that. What if you have body dysmorphia like I do? Then even if you lose 3,000 pounds, you're still gonna see yourself as a hot dog. Like it is what it freaking is, you know? Like there's more to it than just like black and white, you know what I mean?
Because it's like subconsciously you've been putting those things in your head and convincing yourself that's to believe that, you know?
Right.
And then it's like once you get to the point where you're like, okay, I don't want to feel this way anymore, you have to consciously now make those changes all the time because subconsciously it's already wired,
pre-programmed.
Literally
that's like the default setting at this point.
It's like your default is to think negative, so outside your default is to people please at the same time, you know?
Exactly. Like it just mirrors. It's such a disgusting cycle, but definitely one that I'm committed to working on. Like obviously I don't even know if 1 year will be enough to undo 23 years of insecurities and like, of course. You know what I mean? But like I know that this time next year I will at least be in a better space than I am right now within whatever subject that I pour my life into, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Because it just really depends. Like if you only are like really good to yourself, like, oh, you know, well maybe next time, or like you know, whatever, like, you know, whatever, then I feel like you also don't give yourself that push to be like, no, like maybe you didn't do enough today and you need to go harder.
What can I do differently so that I don't get the same result? Okay, what could I have done? I, you know, like you said, like I kind of put this to the side, but now I need to get my shit together to get taken care of, you know?
And it's also like balancing all of the things. Like I said,
yeah,
in the quote that I was saying, it's with the small habits. So for me, I always think I have to do this, and it's this big, huge life change. Like I have to eat healthy, and I can only ever think about eating healthy, but it's not realistic to just go from one extreme to the other when I'm not used to it, you know?
It's gonna create like a binge.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to disappoint myself and set up myself for disappointment every single time because I know I'm going to fall short or not be where I want to be within however much time that I want, because I'm not making it realistic. You know what I mean? Like for me, instead of being like, I'm going to lose weight, I'm committing to working out twice a week. Period. That's doable. If I do more, then I'll be even more proud of myself. If that's all I did, then at least I hit my goal. But it's doable enough, it's realistic enough to not overwhelm me, to make me disappointed or set myself up for failure, because I feel like if you commit to too much, then you're also falling short.
You're overloading yourself. Yeah,
exactly. So that's like one thing. It's like the small habits,
set yourself up for success. Yeah,
exactly. And that's one of the things that I put for looking forward to next year, is to develop a better night and morning routine, just because obviously nighttime for me, it's the worst with my anxiety. I have a hard time sleeping. And then the next morning, if I don't get enough sleep, then I wake up anxious. It's a vicious cycle. And then the next day I feel exhausted. And then, you know, whatever. And then that night I might fall asleep. Exactly. And then that night I might fall asleep earlier, but then I wake up earlier. And now I'm like, oh God, like this is throwing me off. But if I had a better nighttime routine, I would wake up better with my morning routine to then like get me through, you know, the morning or whatever. I try to have it, but it's like some days I'll fall off, and then it'll be like, oh shit, it's been a week and I forgot to meditate this morning, or like this entire morning, you know?
Yeah.
So I've been trying to like do smaller things in the morning where I know it will help me, because obviously meditating is good.
Yeah.
Breathing and doing like deep breaths in the morning, like that's good, but sometimes I forget. So it's like I have to make it a part of my routine regularly, so then I can just improve and get better, you know?
I like that a lot. I agree with that one too. I really want it. For me, it's kind of the opposite though. I think morning routines would definitely be more of something I have to focus on. I'll wake up and like, I can go to sleep with my anxiety, but as soon as before I even open my eyes, I can feel when I have the anxiety, you know? And so I feel like if I could, do it for real. Like I want to create a routine to where I also heard it, and me and my boyfriend were just talking about it actually, that they say it's one of the most important things is to have a morning routine, because especially with work and stuff, is that if you feel like you wake up and the first thing you do is just get ready and then go straight to work, at that point, once you're at work, your entire day has only been work, you know? So it feels like, oh, like I've just been working all day. But if you make the time to get up a little earlier, create like a routine, like whether it's taking a shower first, dancing with music, or stretching, or meditating, or something that you can look forward to, reading a book, having tea, having your coffee, like something to just look forward to get yourself up. Do that first, and then you go to work, and then you've done something before you've even gone to work, you know?
Right. Yeah.
You've set the tone, I guess, for the day in a sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Set your intentions. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really do want to work on that too.
I think it's the same thing with like being grateful in the morning.
Yeah.
Like when I wake up, I always like try first thing to like pray and like thank God for waking me up. First and foremost, I have to thank God for even allowing me to have another day on this earth, because a lot of people don't get that opportunity. And if you don't even thank whoever you're praying to or whatever your higher power is, if you don't thank them for that, maybe tomorrow they're going to decide, you know, they weren't so grateful. So I'm going to take that privilege away, because it's a privilege to be on this earth, you know? As hard as it is to think of that when you're feeling like shit and feeling depressed and anxious, it is a privilege to breathe and to have a heartbeat. The other day, okay, I'm spiraling, but the other day I had a freaking whole ass anxiety attack because I was literally laying there on my lunch. And I don't know why this came up, but I was having anxiety already, but I was on my lunch and I was just feeling my heart, and I could feel like my heart was beating really fast, right? And then I thought about it and I was like, wow, like my heart could just stop beating right now. And it would be that
you were aware of it, right?
Yes. And I was like, like I could literally die at any moment. Like your heart could just stop beating. And then what did you live for? Like, what do you have to like show for yourself? You know? Yes. And I was like, oh my God, like it sounds probably very, very dumb to like people who don't experience this, but I know you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I literally was like, whoa, like my freaking heart could literally just stop right now. That's insane to think about. But it just keeps going because I'm supposed to be here. And it's like that reminder, you know, like it's the smallest thing that could be like, oh, wow, like that put it into perspective for me. And now when I think about it, it's a positive thing rather than, oh, I have anxiety about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I spun it.
It's literally just, as vague as it sounds, a mind shift.
Yeah.
Like learning to shift your mind from the preset negative to the manually set positive, you know?
It's literally an everyday struggle, but I feel like at some point you have to decide which heart do you want? It's hard to live a positive, happy, optimistic life and make these lessons and notice your triggers and work through your triggers and work through your, you know, childhood things and like all of these things.
All while working full time, maintaining, you know, your household, your family, and all the other shit that life brings at you, just saying.
Right.
On top of all of that.
On top of all of that, just everything that's going around in your mind when you're an overthinker. But then, which heart are you willing to do? It's hard to feel like shit, to wake up with anxiety, to feel down all the time, to feel depressed, to feel like you can't do anything, to feel like you can't go anywhere, like you have nothing to live for. It's hard to do that too. So which heart are you willing to deal with? And which one is going to be better, more beneficial for you?
What's crazy is that
is the decision.
I literally asked myself that pretty much that exact question. The way I worded it was, would I rather be struggling and not doing anything or struggling and working towards bettering myself, you know?
Right.
And it's like, that's literally like, that's the difference is like,
and some days
which heart are you going to pick? And like, which heart are you going to pick? Which struggle are you going to pick? Struggling, not doing shit, or struggling and doing something and working towards something, you know?
Right. At least like, you have something to keep you busy in the meantime.
Yeah. So I was like, I guess I'll fucking work toward not, but like, it's just hard, you know, you have to.
It's that conscious effort, like you said, it's
a very conscious effort. Yeah. I would say one of my intentions was definitely that, you know, focusing on how to better myself with the anxiety and depression, which is going to be a constant, you know, it's not going to be like, oh, this year we just figured it all out and now we're never going to have anxiety and depression. Right. But knowing how to help ourselves better, knowing what we can do,
skills.
Yeah.
And not just like shutting down how we, you know, how we do, because it's like, it's so overwhelming. You know?
My default is to shut down.
Same.
And that's why it got so bad, you know, because I would just automatically shut down. Yeah. I was like, I can't feel this as hard, as strongly as I'm feeling it. I don't know what else to do. And that shit gets rough. And then I genuinely, I think that's how it gradually, you know, made me not feel confident in myself, because I always would just shut down instead of trying to battle it out or something, you know?
Right. You weren't facing it till you made it.
Right. And you know that TikTok sound, it's Rihanna, where she's like, so it's like an interviewer asking her, like, what do you do on the days where you don't feel like,
I fake it.
And she goes, I fake it. She goes, what else am I going to do? Lay in bed and cry? Who wants to do that? And I'm like, that's the fucking mindset that I need to keep myself in. It's like, no, I don't want to be fucking laying in bed, bawling my eyes out with my anxiety.
Sometimes I do.
Like maybe sometimes I need it.
Yeah. But I worded that wrong. I don't want to, but sometimes that is what my body, my mind needs. Yeah.
Yeah. But I can definitely push myself more than what I was, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And then also another one was that I want to educate myself better. You kind of touched upon it, like
too.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, you touched upon it when you said, when you were thinking about like, what do you have to show? What do you have to show for and things like that? And I think that's why I really want to educate myself, and not on anything specific, but I'm trying to figure that part out too. Like, this is my intention, you know? But I really want to
success looks differently to everyone.
Exactly. And I just want to I feel like if I feel really knowledgeable about something and I get myself to that point and I work hard and I do it, then I'll feel accomplished with something, you know? Not that I don't have any accomplishments now,
but it builds that confidence too.
Yeah.
Because you know you put in the work to make it happen for yourself.
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly. I had one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
But do you have another one? Because I just said mine.
One of them was to prioritize self-care regularly, not just when I feel like I need it, and or when I feel like
preventative self-care.
Exactly. Or just honestly, it kind of goes into like the routines again, just making it a very normal thing, not to where it's like, oh, I need a whole day, a whole 12 hours to get my whole life together in this one day, and this is all the day that I have, you know, or all the time that I have.
Because it's also like not realistic. Like we think it's
not.
Okay, if I take this 12 hours to self-care myself all day, then I'm going to just be refreshed and rejuvenated, maybe to an extent, but maybe it's not going to last as long as but it's not going to last like how you would want, or we would hope, you know?
Exactly. So I think prioritizing it on a regular basis to where I feel like not only is it going to improve my mental health, you know, meditating, working out, I feel like that also goes into self-care because you're taking care of yourself, you know? But even for me, like, this may be a little TMI, but like, even if I go a few extra days without shaving my legs, even, I feel disgusting. I feel like even less about myself than I did, you know, a couple days ago. But the minute that I do extra self-care or like whatever, I feel genuinely better. And it's like, if I was to just prioritize that normally, then I would never get to the point of feeling like I'm ugly and a shitty person. You know,
I feel it 100%. 100%.
And it's so dumb. It's not just shaving legs, I promise, guys. There's a lot more to it. But
it's like little
just one example.
Add up to a lot.
Yeah. Even just like grooming your eyebrows. Like, you have to look at yourself in the mirror all the time, you know? Like,
sometimes I've gone to like where I like let them just bush out, I guess you want to say, my eyebrows.
Full caveman on my face.
Then one day I just really like look and I'm like, oh girl, like what are you doing? Like you need to get your shit together. And then I'll like immediately just like clean up my eyebrows and I'm like, wow. And it's true, you literally like, you just step back and you're like, that felt really good. I feel good now. Something
and I should have did this a week ago. I should have just pushed myself to do. Yes, exactly. And then with that too, like, just doing things that truly make me happy. Like, honestly, this year, I don't think I've painted not once. And that was something that I used to love doing after work or, you know, on my free time, whatever. Like, just not even just to finish a whole canvas, but just sitting there with some music, chilling out, like, you know, whatever. I used to love it. And it was such an escape for me. And I genuinely...
It's very therapeutic.
And it's like little things like that, even just finding little hobbies to do. I genuinely did not do that at all this year, and I'm not disappointed because, like, obviously other things happen.
I just painted one canvas.
Like, in a way, I started to be like, oh, I'm disappointed that I didn't, but also like I did other things in that time that like was learning lessons, and like I said, it was kind of like the building blocks this year, you know. Like,
no, I like that. Definitely adding more. And I think that also goes into self-care too, is just doing the fucking shit that makes you happy.
Not the things that you feel obligated to do because someone makes you feel bad because you didn't do it or because you didn't show up to whatever it is. It's like, okay, well, I was prioritizing me, and that's okay, you know? Boundaries.
I like that. Boundaries. New boundaries. When that's a new boundary set, people get upset.
Ooh.
Did I say something?
And with the wisdom of the week, no. You said you have one more?
So my last one.
Okay.
Yeah, my last one was to stop self-sabotaging. With
and for the people in the back.
Talked about. Yes, with everything we've talked about, it all kind of comes down to self-sabotaging in a sense, allowing myself to stay in this place, allowing myself to come up with these excuses, allowing the anxiety and depression to go on in a sense, because I wasn't fighting it as much as I feel like I could have been, and I'll go over too much. So stop self-sabotaging. And there's actually a book, I haven't read it yet, and I haven't read it, so I can't say like, oh, this is really going to help. But if any of our listeners have read it, then please leave us a comment somewhere, either down below or on Instagram, somewhere.
The questions box on Spotify.
It's literally called, please. it's called Stop Self-Sabotage, and it's by Judy Ho. It had a lot of really good reviews on Amazon, and people saying that it really helped them. And there's a lot of, obviously there's tons of like books about it, but I really, really, I feel like there's so many things that I don't even know that I do that are self-sabotaging. And I just want to become aware of them so that I can start, what's the word you said?
Rewiring,
yes. So I can start rewiring my brain.
Yeah. And we've talked about it too in the past, about like wanting to learn all of these things. So then once we become parents and we become moms, then we're like instilling these things into our kids. And it's not an added stress learning all of these things at the same time of learning like parenthood and all that. So it's like, that's why I feel like it's such like a crunch time right now, is just wanting to get all of this figured out and feel the best versions of ourselves to then be able to project the best of ourselves to everyone else around us. So although it's very stressful, I'm really grateful to know that like we're gonna get it, you know, like us even recognizing that there's a problem.
It feels really good.
Yeah, like us even recognizing that there's an issue or, you know, something that needs to be worked on is like, they always say like is the first step, you know, but it really, really is. Because if you just only ever think like, oh, this is how everyone thinks, and then, you know, this is how it's supposed to be, you're just gonna spiral and spiral down and self-sabotage till the end of the earth. But it's not, you know, you should be your biggest fan.
Your anxiety and depression more.
Yeah, instead of being your biggest critic, you should be your biggest fan and be the number one motivator for yourself, because you spend the most time with yourself if you think about it.
And with your thoughts, like you can be like, you can have someone you're the closest to and you tell, like you can tell everything to, but at the same time in your thoughts, like there are things that you keep to yourself. You know, you just don't say,
you don't even want to think of, they're horrible things.
Exactly. And so it's like you, like you said, you have to be the one to push yourself and get yourself out of that.
You are the deciding factor in any situation. Not only you because you're you, but because you can only control your reaction. You can't control other people. And that's something that I learned in 2020 that I still implement now, is that I can't control a situation, but I can control how I react to the situation. If I react to a situation or something that was said, like I have the power. And then if I choose to do nothing with it, then that is what it is, you know. Then I feel like if someone's negatively looking for that negative thing from you, then you take away their power, not giving it to them. So you can control the scenario or the situation based upon your reaction to the situation.
Which it's funny because like we kind of get told that as kids, like when someone's messing with you, it's like, well, like my dad always says, he goes, you bite. Like if someone's messing with you, they're like, they're doing it on purpose and you're biting. That's why they keep doing it. Pretty much you're giving them the reaction that they want. You're biting for it. So
walk away.
Don't do that. And like you said, if you just don't give them the reaction, eventually they're going to stop because you're not giving them what they want. They'll go somewhere else and try to do that, you know? But like we kind of forget that sometimes as adults. Then it comes back down to like, why am I giving this person the power to upset me? Why am I giving this person or these people the power to ruin my day or ruin my mood?
They don't or whatever care about you, you know, like certain people that are looking for a negative reaction, they don't care about you. They're just doing it because they get a rise out of you and that makes them feel better. So don't give them the power.
Which is cool because it's like, it kind of goes into the wisdom of the week though.
It does, but I have one more thing just of that I'm looking forward to. Is more like looking forward to, not a lesson, but well, I guess we learned a lesson, so then next year we have to do better, is that like making more memories, taking more pictures and having videos and stuff to have the memory documented. Obviously it's very nice to have like time and be present in the moment, like that's perfectly fine. But our problem is we're so fucking present in the moment that we don't have the balance to be like, oh my God, we really did do a cool thing. And we're such forgetful people. That is something that we also probably should be working on next year, is like our memory, because it's ass. And so sometimes we may do cool things or like have a really good idea about something, but never actually get to that point because we're too present in the moment or we're too chill. You know what I mean? Like, which sucks because then at the end of the year, when you're doing a reflection podcast episode and you're trying to think about all the fun stuff you did, you got nothing.
That's okay. That makes me think of a next intention then.
Okay.
It'll be getting better at self-discipline. That I think would definitely help us.
Oh, I have a quote for discipline.
You do?
I do.
I think self-discipline will really, really help us to make sure that in the times that like we say we're going to get something done and then we're like in the moment too much or too laid back, it's like, oh wait, okay, but cool, we could be in the moment, but we still got to make sure we get these things done. Or like,
exactly,
like
let's do this first so we can have fun after.
Or like our routines, like, okay, well, the self-discipline is making sure you get up, or it's okay to miss a day when you're getting into the groove of it, but continuing it and making yourself be like, no, I missed yesterday, so let me make sure I make up for it today. I'm gonna get up.
Exactly.
Or whatever, that self-discipline to make yourself do it because no one else is.
Exactly.
And no one else should have to.
It's the balance again between giving yourself grace and giving yourself a kick in the ass, like, no, you need to do it,
Yeah.
But that is the perfect segue to this one thing before you do the
wisdom
of the week or whatever. Wisdom of the last week of the year. It says, nobody wants to tell you why discipline is so important. Discipline is the strongest form of self-love. It is ignoring current pleasures for bigger rewards to come. It's loving yourself enough to give yourself everything you've ever wanted.
Oof. Ooh, that was good.
I could not go this episode without saying that. And I'm so
really
glad you segued to that because that was perfect.
Yeah, no, for real. Like, it makes a lot of sense. And I think definitely is something I need to work on very consistently.
Same girl.
But I'm excited.
But I feel excited for what it'll bring. Also, I was just going to say, that's also what's exciting about like a new year is that not that you have to wait for a new year, but like we said, we're going to break that little habit of like being like, oh, the first of the month is blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. But I think there's just so much around like after the holidays, and it's like, okay, like let's start fresh. Like we have a clean state to like whatever, and it's just we have the power at the end of the day to make the year what we want. But when you let yourself settle into the self-sabotage and you're not disciplining yourself and you're just, negatively talking to yourself and that's how your year's going to be. That's how our year was.
Sabotage versus self-discipline. That's what it is.
Boom.
Holy shit.
That could be a whole episode on its own, which probably will be.
That's crazy. Self-sabotage versus self-discipline. What we've learned so far. I hope
you guys related to at least one thing this whole episode. I'm sure there's plenty of things that you related to, but I'm hoping that this at least makes you feel less alone, because we definitely deal with a lot of these things. We're probably forgetting a ton of things, but right. I think we're already at an hour and a half in. I don't know how many people are actually going to listen to this.
But, and I was going to say, otherwise this podcast too would be like, we can add this in the beginning, but I know in the beginning we said like, oh, what should we start with? Like, should we get into the deep stuff first? And we like, eased our way into it. And it's going to get very real. I think we got very real in this episode. We're very transparent.
I think so too. We're being very authentic. Like, we're literally not holding back. Yeah. This is the green screen, and that's the only thing fake about this fucking podcast episode. But no, seriously, guys, like, and that's another thing is that I think when we get uncomfortable, our first thing is like go to humor.
Yeah. It's a good fallback.
It's a crutch.
It's definitely a crutch. Right.
But we're funny. Like, what the fuck?
But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We definitely.
I know. I hope you guys loved it.
Yeah.
I felt better.
This is one of my favorite conversations I think we've had. And the fact that it's also for the podcast is really cool. But just because we kind of had a lot of revelations through it. Even though we talk about this stuff with each other all the time, but like
regularly,
something with this time just was different, and
it feels good.
It feels really, really good.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited that we're ending the podcast this way and ending the new year this way, going into the new year with a different mindset, and an
intentional mindset,
and very intentional, conscious mindset. Yes. Because now we know where we want to be, but we weren't necessarily doing the things that we should have been to get to that point.
I feel like we knew what we needed to do, or maybe in some aspects we knew what we needed to do. Other things we needed to learn through other people, or, you know, outsourcing, whatever.
Yeah.
Or just going through it, to be honest. Yeah. Sometimes you learn the best lesson is just
by experience.
Yeah, experience, just feeling how shitty it feels because you don't want to go back to that place again. Yeah. But if you could think of
definitely
one
got
word
there this year.
Yeah, rock bottom was definitely here this year.
Freaking quote of 2021.
But I feel like also we have so much to be proud of ourselves for. Like so much. We've made it through every second of this year thus far, and we'll continue to get through it because number one, we're not gonna let each other get to a point of giving up. Like there's no fucking way. And also too, I think that's another thing that probably both of us have to work on next year too, is that I have a problem, even if it's you, like my best fucking friend in this whole world, like, you know me like the back of my hand. We're twin flames, bro. We got matching tattoos and it's fairly large, my friend. This ain't replaceable, baby. But no, seriously,
you can't see it.
You can see it a little bit. It was like going in the green screen. That's weird. But it's also like being so vulnerable with like just letting your guard completely down and asking for help. I think is sometimes the hardest part, is that maybe I don't want to hear what I need to hear, but like I know you'll tell me. So I'm like, oh, let me just not say I'm dealing with this, because I know she's gonna tell me like some shit, even though it's gonna help me, but like maybe I'm just self-sabotaging and I'm not looking for the help or asking for the help, which is something I definitely
in the moment it feels sometimes like I feel this way and I need to feel this way until it's done, and I don't want to hear anything else because I feel so strongly this way. And I do that too.
But
so
it's like exactly not
what you're talking about. It does no help.
Healthy.
It does nothing.
No. And it's not gonna do, like, you would never judge me for anything that I said to you, like how I'm feeling or whatever. You'd literally be like, oh, well, why do you feel like that? Or like try to help me through it. And it's like, I need that. But it's like sometimes I know I need that, but I run away from it, you know?
Yeah, because it's like then it's confronting it, and then it's, you know, you have to go through it to get past it. And it's the going through part that's like what we try to stay away from. It's like we just try to can we just go around, like but I think
embracing next year, embracing the negative and the positive, because living a life of positivity is great, but you can only do that if you recognize the negative things too, because you can't have only positive or only light. Like light and dark has to, like yin and yang. Like my sweater, you have to have the balance, otherwise you won't be able to recognize the other thing, you know what I mean? So I feel like there's a reason
why it's like a cycle, and there's a reason why there's the good and the bad and the bad and the good.
Exactly. You can't ever just have one or the other, because you won't learn anything, you won't get anywhere. So I think it's just embracing and allowing, like welcoming bad things to happen, because I'm going to learn from it. It's not something that's going to be, it's not going to stop me in my tracks. Like it may be a speed bump, but I know going forward, because I'm strong enough, that it's not going to stop me. I can get past that, because I did it. It's not going to stop me, because I've gone past worse things in the past, and this is just going to be a stepping stone to goddess level.
Where the goal is, being our best, highest self.
Our highest self. I can see, oh my god, there's this TikTok. Can I play it? I don't know if will it allow me to play it and we won't get copyrighted. It's just a girl talking. I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
Who's gonna report us? Let me find it really quick, because dude, literally I started crying after I fucking heard this, and I was like, wow, like you're gonna love it. Okay, ready? I'm gonna hold it from like
imagine this. You've just died and you get to meet the person you were supposed to become. The highest, bestest version of you. But you didn't become them because you didn't believe in yourself or chase your dreams or think it was possible. You didn't see that potential. But then standing in front of you, you see you, but the person who did believe in themselves and knew their potential and just chased after all of the things in life. because life is so short. I just hope you believe in yourself. I don't think you know how much potential you truly have. This life is just endless opportunities.
That was very inspirational. That I am very inspired by that.
I played it and I was bawling my eyes out. I was like, what the, like, it's just the stupidest little things like that that really make a difference, you know?
Especially when you're in that mindset, because it's something that, you know, it's something you needed to hear, you know? Yeah.
Exactly. That helped tied in the ending. I'm really glad that I remembered about that video.
Yeah, I love that.
I love it too. And
to close off with this, one of our favorite podcast episodes,
hands down,
if I do say so myself.
Yeah. It's been very freeing
to close it off. Which is perfect for, you know, the end of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know if we initially expected it to be this freeing of a conversation.
No, I definitely had no expectations. I was just gonna be like, oh, we're gonna talk, it's gonna be rough, and then we're gonna get through it.
And it just happened so effortlessly and very smoothly.
Like, I feel like I don't have to carry that on anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Like, I genuinely feel like I don't have to carry it anymore. Like, I'm good.
And it's like, we're both...
I'm good, fam.
And okay, here's one thing I'll say right before I say the wisdom of the week, but me and Emelita, you know, we have each other to push each other and do these things. And if you do, then utilize those people around you, because support is very important.
Yeah.
If you don't, then we definitely want to be those people for you. And that's not even like however it sounds, or if it sounds
not
cheesy,
trying to be cheesy
or
at all.
like bullshit or whatever, like genuinely, we want to help anyone who needs support. Like dead ass, if you message us on Instagram or wherever, like, we're gonna, if we can do something to help you,
I will give you my whole day. like genuinely.
For real, like, we're really gonna do our best to help out in any way we can, even if it's just over an app. Like, that's just those are our intentions with these podcasts and with our videos. It's always been to be there for you guys, help out in any way we can. So with us being very transparent in how we feel in our experiences, if you feel that same way and you feel like you don't have support, you can come to us and we're here.
Would want nothing more. Like, that would mean the world to us, you know? Yeah. And then it gives us that like purpose back, you know?
Yes.
I love that. And with that, guys, what is the wisdom of the week, Gina?
Wisdom of the week. Emily picked a perfect quote, I think, for going into the new year. You are the greatest project you'll ever work on. You. Not him, her, they, them. You are the best thing you'll work on.
Yep. The most important project. I feel like we're always works in progress. And if you don't think that way, you got to switch it up. You don't know everything. You don't.
No. You'll end up
there's
at a
no
roadblock.
Way.
Yeah, like people who are like the best at what they do, whatever profession they're in, they still practice, they still educate themselves and are constantly,
they remain
like
students.
You said, there's always things to learn and you can always get better. And even if you think you're the best at something, there's probably someone else, well, no, not probably, there's someone else out there that might have like a different technique or a different way of doing it, that if you just be like, holy crap, like, that was cool, hey, let's talk, let's get to know each other, and then you can share things with each other and learn so many different things.
Right.
Like, I hate people who don't want to share their like
tips
like
and
what
tricks.
They know, or tips and tricks or little hacks. I hate people like that. Don't be one of those
just
people.
So selfish.
If you are going to the next year of 2022 and let that shit go.
Make that
don't be that person.
Work on. Yeah. It's just, what do you gain from not helping people or not being a helpful person? Like, what do you gain from only being the person with them jeans? Like,
yeah, come on,
baby, it's really not that big of a deal. Like, I just feel like that would make, I don't know, I could just never be like that. I was trying to think of a way to spin it, but there's just no way I could ever be like that, because I feel like that's just so selfish.
Yeah. Cannot relate to those people.
Couldn't be us. But like Gina said, if that is you, work on it.
But happy New Year's, guys.
If you could think of one word Like one word that you want to go into next year prioritizing or just being intentional with, one word, what would it be?
My initial thought was growth.
Tell me mine was evolve. I swear to God, mine was evolve. Yeah. I love it.
Because that can mean a lot of different things and in all aspects. It's a very vague.
Because we're learning things, we're going to grow, we're going to evolve, like whatever. Bank accounts finna evolve and grow. No. This podcast is going to grow and evolve. Everything. Our confidence, our determination, our discipline, our goals. Like I'm not gonna set like minuscule goals for myself this year, because I know with the hard work that I'm gonna get there. So I'm not gonna prioritize the end goal rather than the like stepping stones to get there, because I think that matters more. And I feel like if you put more hard work into doing something, then I feel like you appreciate it more, and it'll last more than if you just get something overnight. You know what I mean? Like we had to work to get to a point of even just being comfortable talking and like putting out the conversations that we have, because sometimes
content
I feel like it's already hard enough to put ourselves out there, especially being from like a small town, not really having like already like a platform, you know what I mean? Like we started from nothing, and we're at this place where we have like supporters in other countries, and it's just gonna grow more and more from here and evolve more and more from here. So it's just so exciting. I can't wait to maybe do like some snippets from this podcast next year when we're podcasting about 2022 and be like, oh, like dude, we really did go through that, or like a reaction to it.
Audio clips to recap
and
be like, okay, we set this intention, what did we do to like fulfill that in some sense, you know?
And obviously it's really hard to just track like, progress. We have like 20 things we want to work on. We may or may not get to every single one, but we're making a conscious effort in other areas to be like, you know what, I kind of dropped the ball on that, but I can admit it, but I grew in this and this area. And then maybe the next year that's not a priority going into it because it didn't matter as much, you know?
Right. Or then you can focus on that one since you put more focus on something else now.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Love
or maybe
it.
like do like, you know, maybe seasonal check-ins, you know? Like nice. We're in winter right now, coming to spring, we'll be like, okay, how you feeling? Let's do a temperature check. you know,
how you doing?
How are our boundaries? And then just, I think, like you said, it's track progress rather than being like, you know, the year flew by and I just don't know, because that's how we were this year. But it genuinely did. And so next year, like, I just want to be more conscious with my time, my energy,
priorities,
efforts, my priorities, my boundaries, my memories, all the E's. But yeah, with that, we hope you guys have the most funnest, I was just gonna say safest and most intentional New Year's, and that you go into next year being proud of yourself for getting through this year and having goals to look forward to, because you can do it if we can do it.
And you can look forward to more guests on our podcast in 2022.
Maybe one next week.
Yeah.
And
so that's really exciting too.
It's gonna be such a good one. We're really excited.
So we'll see you guys next year.
Oh my god, that sounds so weird. I'm like, wait, what?
You're like, we didn't discuss that.
I know, I'm like, wait, when am I posting? But yeah, guys, we will see you next year. We will talk to you next year. Head over to YouTube at Cloud Nena to see the visual. Hopefully she made it there. I apologize for our appearance in our janky green screens, but I loved it. I think it adds character. And like you said, it's going to be tracked progress because you never know. This time next year, we may have a whole ass podcast studio. You just never know.
Shit, we never know, but that's the goal.
Yeah, I mean, that would be very nice. That would be cool. Love that. Would love that.
Amen. Love you.
We love you so much.
All love. With love.
With love and light. Bye.
Bye.